Hey, Soul Tribe, and welcome back to the Manifestation Method podcast, where we go deep into the spiritual, the practical, and the mystical principles that help you transform your life from the inside out. Today's episode is one that I believe holds the key to unlocking your manifestation power on a whole new level. I'm going to be diving into the role of integrity when it comes to manifestation and the sacred art of aligning your actions with your intentions. People ask me all the time, how important is it that I take action in order to see my desires manifest? So, we're going to be talking about all that. This is one of those conversations that's simple, but not always easy. We're going to be talking about what aligned action really means, why integrity is magnetic, and how the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah teaches us the power of intention, or what's called kavana in Hebrew. So, whether you're in the middle of calling in a new chapter in your life, or you're wondering why your manifestations might feel blocked, this one's for you. Let's get into it. Becoming a co-creator with the creator is your birthright. Together, we'll journey into your deepest authenticity. Because the more you align with who you truly are, the more effortlessly you call in the life that you desire and deserve. And most importantly, the more you step into your soul's highest purpose. Welcome to the Manifestation Method podcast, your number one source for Kabbalistic manifestation. Here we combine the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, modern psychology, and quantum physics to help you achieve real, tangible manifestation results with my proven Abra method. I'm Ayelet Polonsky, and I'm here to guide you on your journey of manifesting a life that is aligned, expansive, and deeply connected to your highest self through the sacred energetic mechanics of Kabbalistic manifestation. To learn how to use Kabbalistic manifestation to transform your life from the inside out, go to ayeletpolonsky.com or download the Manifestation Method app. Let's open the gates of manifestation together. Let's start by understanding what integrity actually is when it comes to manifestation. Because when I say integrity, I'm not talking about morality or being perfect. I'm talking about wholeness, congruence. I'm talking about that experience when your inner world matches your outer world, that type of integrity. When what you say you want is backed by what you actually do, what you think, speak, and how you act are in alignment with one another. So, for example, let's say you want to call in a healthy, loving partnership, but you keep texting the ex who made you feel small. Or say you want to create financial freedom, but you keep procrastinating and launching your business is taking forever. And there's just some sort of incongruence there. You're saying you want something, but you're not taking the right actions for that something to manifest. Now, these aren't always flaws. They are moments where your actions and your intentions are out of sync. And that's okay. Let's face it. We all do it, myself included sometimes. But the real magic happens when you bring them back into alignment. So integrity is when your choices line up with your desires, when the inside matches the outside. And in manifestation, this is everything. Integrity is about energetic alignment. It means you are living in resonance with what you say you want. Now, to clarify, integrity doesn't mean perfection. It simply means that your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors are all singing the same song. It means you're walking your talk. It means that You vote with your time, your money, your energy in the direction of your desires. So many people say they want something. I hear this all the time, but they're constantly acting in a way that contradicts what they say they want. And it's not because they're flawed, but because they might be afraid or maybe even unaware of a deeper conflict. And this brings me to something subtle but crucial, a really important topic. It's all about competing desires. Competing desires is the hidden sabotager of our manifestations. So let's say someone says, I really want to get married, but it's just not happening for them. Let's say they keep attracting unavailable partners, or maybe they're pulling away the moment something feels real. It's easy to label that as bad luck or a blockage, but often what's underneath this occurrence is simply a competing desire. So maybe they're saying they want to get married, but maybe they have a competing subconscious desire for freedom, or for control, or for space, or for emotional safety. Or maybe they're just familiar with being alone, right? I always say we're more inclined to choosing a familiar hell than choosing an unfamiliar heaven. So that same person who says they want to get married might actually feel really scared about sharing space with someone. Or maybe they feel that getting married is going to lead to their taking away of their freedom and autonomy. Maybe on a subconscious level, marriage actually feels like a threat. So now what this person experiences is essentially a tug of war inside. One part says, I want love and partnership. But another part says, what if I lose myself? What if it's just like the marriage that my parents had? Or what if I feel trapped? These inner conflicts or these competing desires create a kind of energetic crosscurrent. They confuse the signal that you're sending out to the creator. On the surface, you might be visualizing marriage, but underneath, your nervous system is saying, this doesn't feel safe. And remember, the universe listens to your whole vibration, not just your conscious affirmations. That is super important. So how do you identify a competing desire? Well, here's a couple things you can ask yourself to help you get clear. The first thing you can ask yourself is, what would I have to give up if I got what I want? Another question could be, what part of me feels scared, not ready, or unconvinced? Another question could be, what might be the downside of receiving my desire? Here's where I ask you to get really radically honest with yourself. The more honest you are, the more you'll get to the root of what your conflicting desires are, and you can begin to heal things from the inside out. Or let's use another example, right? Let's say you want abundance, but maybe a part of you is afraid of being judged or believes that rich people aren't really spiritual. I hear that one a lot. Or maybe you're under the impression that money causes stress, or maybe you heard your parents say more money, more problems, right? Or maybe you're afraid. I know I had this one for a long time until I caught it by the root and then did inner excavation to extract it from my inner reality. And that was, the more abundance I have, the more responsibilities I'm going to have. And that feels scary. So even if you do the money meditations and you do the vision board and you do all the things, this inner part of you is slamming on the brakes. It's like pushing on the gas pedal and on the brakes simultaneously. It kind of just won't get you anywhere. And it's not because your system is trying to sabotage intentionally. Ultimately, it's really trying to protect you from your competing desire, from that subconscious fear that you're actually holding on to. Because these competing desires are usually born from past pain, from conditioning, or from inherited beliefs. And so it's important to note that these competing desires are not your enemy. They're just parts of you that are asking to be seen, understood, and integrated. And when you finally meet those parts with compassion instead of with shame, you truly unlock the power to choose differently. And that is empowerment, my friends. Now, this is also why aligned action is such a crucial step in manifestation, because aligned action helps you move out of confusion and into clarity. So once you've uncovered a competing desire, the goal isn't to force it to go away, because that's just futile. That never works. But rather, the goal is to bring your whole self into congruence. This might mean doing inner work to rewire your beliefs around love, money, health, success. It might mean talking directly to the part of you that's afraid and giving that same part new options. It might mean taking small kitten steps so that both parts of you, the part that wants what it wants, but also the part that is afraid, can feel safe and can actually trust you to hold it with compassion instead of shame. And that happens with baby steps. So when your desire and your behavior finally do match, your field becomes magnetic because you become a vibrational match for that which you desire. And that's when manifestations really start to speed up. Not because the universe changed, but because you did. So really, aligned action here becomes a non-negotiable. I always say manifestation is not just about thinking. It's about being and doing in alignment with your becoming. You can visualize, journal, and meditate all day long. And while these are powerful processes, they're not the full picture. Because if your daily actions are in contradiction with the version of you that already has that desire, you create fiction in your vibrational field. So this is what I call energetic incongruence. And energetic incongruence actually slows things down. Again, think of it like stepping on the brakes and stepping on the gas at the same time. So aligned action here really becomes the remedy. It's about tuning into the frequency of your desire and then letting that frequency, that excitement, inform your behavior. So it might actually look like saying no to what doesn't resonate, even if it's uncomfortable. I call that process clearing out that which no longer serves you in order to get you back into alignment with what is truly of your highest good. It might look like saying yes more often to what excites you, even if it scares you. For me, I've become a big yes person. I try to say yes way more often than I say no, unless my no is a very clear no, right? But if there's an opportunity that comes my way, if there's a person that I meet, I say yes to these opportunities because I know it's trying to route me in the right direction. Again, this is only relevant if you're clear that your no is not a no. It also might look like following intuitive nudges, even if they don't make logical sense, or showing up as the version of you who already has what you desire. So aligned action actually says to the universe, I'm serious, I'm ready, and I trust. And when you move with trust, the universe can move with you. So why does aligned action actually work, right? And like I said, energetically, the universe responds to coherence. It's like tuning your radio station to the right frequency so the sound that's coming through is loud and clear. So when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are vibrating on the same frequency, that's like you tuning your radio station to the right frequency so that the signal comes in loud and clear. That's how you become magnetic. Okay? When you align your behavior with the frequency of what you want, you get clear reception. If you tune into the wrong radio station or into a station that's not right for you, you just won't hear the music. So this is why aligned action also isn't always loud and bold. Sometimes it's subtle, like taking care of your body or following through on a commitment or speaking your truth even when it's hard. Right? Sometimes it can come through in a soft way and it gets louder with time. So it's also about tuning into the subtleties of what feels right versus what feels wrong in your system. This is also energetic alignment. And these small little micro choices, they add up. They form the energetic scaffolding that supports your manifestation. Now let's talk a little Kabbalistically for a second. Let's talk about the power of kavana. Kavana is the mystical Hebrew word for intention. And in Kabbalah, kavana is the inner focus and spiritual alignment behind your actions, like everything we've been speaking about so far. Right? Kabbalah teaches that it's not just about what you do, but it's about the consciousness that you bring to it. Because a manifestation principle I always share, where consciousness goes, energy flows. Where you're sending your consciousness, you are sending energy in that direction, and that manifests into your 3D. So kavana means saying a prayer with presence and not just reciting empty words. Kavana means giving with an open heart, intentionally, not just out of obligation. Kavana means speaking a truth, speaking your truth, not for validation, but to express the essence of your soul in the most authentic way. This is when life starts to look really beautiful and sparkly because you're living from your most authentic self. It's when your kavana, your intention, is directed and focused. It's more than just a thought. It's a thought merged with energy behind it. It's in a way, a spiritual orientation, or it's let's call it a soul level why behind every action, right? Your why is your magic wand. The work that I do in the world takes a lot of commitment, and it takes sometimes like daily grind. But I am so clear on my why, and my why is to be of service in this way so that we can really start to shift from the inside out, one person at a time, which starts to ripple out into the world and starts to shift the frequency, the goodness of people worldwide. For me, that why is so strong that it becomes the motivating force behind everything I do. And as a result, I'm living my most authentic life, and it's not exhausting because of that. I can work a lot of hours, but it's not exhausting because I'm filled up with, in Hebrew, it's called chiyut, or life force, or prana, or chi. When you're living with kavana, with clear intention, you live with that same life force. Okay. And the energetic result is so different than if you're living not in authenticity. So let's give some examples of how kavana is put into practice. Let's say giving money to someone feels like a transaction, right? That's one way of giving money. Or giving money can be an offering. It can be an act of divine circulation. It can be an energetic flow of giving and receiving, infused with the energy of blessing and abundance. So something I've started doing in my own personal life is when I go to eat at a restaurant, or if I'm purchasing something at a store, as I'm paying the bill, or if I'm paying the clerk, I'm not saying to myself, oh my gosh, I have to give so much money right now, but rather I'm setting this intention, a kavana of, wow, I get to be a part of the energetic flow that enhances and gives to this other person and enhances their life in some way. And that fills me with a sense of fulfillment as a result. Another way we could see kavana working for or maybe against us is when we say, I love you, right? I love you can feel like a routine. It can feel like a to-do that I just do because I have to. Or maybe my husband said I love you to me, and so I feel like I have to say it back, but it's not fueled with kavana, right? Or saying I love you can be a real transmission of presence, of depth, of truth, and an offering of connection. When your kavana is pure, meaning when your action is aligned with your intention, you, from a Kabbalistic perspective, open a channel for divine light to come in. Therefore, you are actually filling your vessel, your kli, and Kabbalah is all about filling your, it's all about light and vessel, expanding your vessel, your being, to hold more light. Okay, so as you keep purifying yourself by purifying the intention behind your action, you actually expand your vessel to allow for more of that light to come through. That way, you're also becoming more of a light being than you are a being of matter. And the more you become a light being, the more you get to shift frequencies easily versus staying in dense, heavy frequencies. Okay. Another example could be you're building a business. Maybe you're building your business out of fear, lack, scarcity. I'm doing this because I need. Or maybe you're building your business out of service and inspiration. Two very different routes that will give you very different outcomes. So, in all of these examples, the form might look the same, right? Saying I love you, or giving money, or starting a business. The form can look the same no matter which route you choose to take, but the field that you're generating as a result becomes totally different depending on your kavana. Right? Let's take this one step deeper. So the Hebrew word for kavana, the Hebrew word for intention, we said is kavana. And in Hebrew, we look at the root of a word to understand its symbolism or what it really is trying to say, what it really means. So the root of the word kavana is the three-letter word or three letters in Hebrew, kaf, vav, and nun. Those three words, kivun, means to direct, to align, to aim, or to focus. And the root of kivun is kav, which literally means a straight line. So if you think about it, like I talk about the manifestation tightrope, and your desire is on the other end of that tightrope. Your kavana is that tightrope, and there might be strong winds that try to pull you off your focus, try to have you lose your aim, try to get you out of alignment, try to redirect you, right? Try to shift your kivun. But as you just stay firm to your manifestation tightrope and you see your why at the end and you see your desire at the end and you let it fill you with the right kavanot, the right intentions, the whole outcome looks completely different. Okay. Also, the word lekaven, right, to direct, which is also in the word kavana, is a verb which means to aim, kind of like aiming an arrow, or to direct or guide, or even to tune, like tuning an instrument, right? We're talking about tuning to radio stations, tuning instruments, tuning to the right frequency. You are electricity. Your body, your energy is vibration. You get to use your kavanot, your intentions, and concentrate on them in order to tune your frequency to the right channel so that you start to see things manifest. Okay, so really, when we're saying kavana, especially in a mystical or spiritual context, like in Kabbalah, we're talking about way more than just intention. We're talking about aiming the heart and the mind in a precise direction. Okay? In Kabbalah, kavana is the soul's alignment with divine will. It's the invisible arrow behind every spiritual act. It's the energy behind the form. Okay, so without kavana, the action might still count. It might take you somewhere. You might get some credit, but it lacks the voltage necessary to get you the precision that you're looking for. Okay. And also, Kabbalists teach that kavana has the power to activate spiritual light in the world, right? Because when the intention is pure and present, then even the smallest act becomes a portal for transformation. So, something you can ask yourself to help you align your kavanot, your intentions, are: why do I want this? What energy am I bringing to this? And is it aligned with my soul's path? And when your intention is in integrity, then the energy behind your manifestation is pure. It doesn't come from a place of lack or fear, but rather from a place of love, purpose, and wholeness. One of the 4 steps to my manifestation methodology that I've created is aligned action. And I always come back to it because really it's the bridge between our inner and outer world. Okay, so yes, again, we visualize, we ask for what we want, we activate the frequency of belief in our desires. We turn ourselves into vessels that can receive the abundance that we're looking to receive. But lastly, and maybe firstly, actually, is aligned action. Okay, because this is the way that what we want gets mirrored back to us. Okay, aligned action might mean healing your scarcity wounds or finally sending that proposal. Or if you're manifesting love, then aligned action might mean setting a loving boundary or choosing to be vulnerable with someone safe. Or let's say you're manifesting impact and purpose. Aligned action might mean recording that podcast or writing that book or starting before you feel ready. I don't even know what that, like the whole, I only start when I feel ready. You could go your whole life never feeling ready. So aligned action is showing up before you hide behind all of the diplomas and the degrees and the illusion of readiness. Okay. Sometimes you might actually be ready before you think you're ready. Okay. And really there's not a one size fits all formula. But the key question is always, is this action rooted in the version of me that I'm becoming or the version that I'm outgrowing? So here's my invitation for you this week. I invite you to get radically honest, not in a harsh way, not in a self-judgment way, but in a loving way. Ask yourself, where am I out of alignment with what I'm saying that I want? And what small act of integrity can I take today that moves me closer to my desires? And finally, how can I bring deeper intention, kavana, into my thoughts, rituals, and actions? I really invite you to journal on these 3 questions. Putting pen to paper is a game changer to making this material embodied in your system. And when I say intention means integrity, miracles happen. And when your actions speak the language of your soul, the universe listens. So I'd love to leave you here with a blessing. May your intentions be clear and your heart aligned and your actions guided by the deepest truth of your soul. May every step you take be infused with pure kavana, sacred focus, and divine direction. And when the fear or doubt arises, may you simply meet it with compassion, gently realigning with the love that lives beneath your desires. And may your integrity become your compass, leading you not just to what you want, but to who you truly are and to what you're truly meant to receive. And may you always remember you are safe to receive, worthy to create, and powerful beyond belief. And so it is. Thank you so much for being here with me. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Tag me, share it with someone you love, and let's spread this message far and wide. And don't forget to give our channel a rating. See you next time. Here's to your rising. If you enjoyed this episode, let's keep the conversation going inside the Manifestation Method Portal app, your #1 destination for Kabbalistic manifestation. Inside, you'll unlock the secrets of manifestation through my proven Abra method, rooted in Kabbalah, psychology, and quantum physics, designed to help you manifest real, tangible results from the inside out. Join our global community of manifestors, explore our signature courses, monthly live manifestation workshops with me, Ayelet, and access our transformational hypno activations and attunements to rewire limiting beliefs and align with your soul's purpose. The app is available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play. To sign up, head over to ayeletpolonsky.com. Becoming a co-creator with the Creator is your birthright. Let's manifest the life you desire and deserve together.